Hey there, YouTube. Corncob Piper coming at you with episode number 9 of Puffin Burley, my personal journey or quest to become a Burley lover. So for today's review, we are going to be reviewing probably one of the most famous of the Burley tobacco blends, another one from Cornell and Diehl, blended by Bob Ranowski. This one is going to be Old Joe Krantz. This is said to be the companion or sister blend of Haunted Bookshop, which I'm sure many of you know of from Amy Mack. And Matches 860, one of their famous blends, is Haunted Bookshop, or one of their favorites. And I have had in the past Haunted Bookshop. I've just recently tried Old Joe Krantz. This is, and I commented to Ghost Cop, I think, on one of my Puffin Burley series, I forget which video, that I happen to believe that Cornell and Diehl and L.J. Peretti happen to make the best Burley tobacco blends. Now, their Burleys are quite a bit different. The Peretti Burleys are quite a bit more nuttier. They taste almost like a toasted, a cross between a toasted almond, or a mix between a toasted, not almond, but a toasted walnut and pecan. Very, very nutty, whereas the Cornell and Diehl Burleys, to me, have a nuance of like a fresh cracked walnut, but buttery. So, you know, two definitely great Burley makers, in my opinion, are Cornell and Diehl, L.J. Peretti. If you're interested in trying a Burley blend, say, for the first time, I would say to go with one of those tobacco manufacturers, either Cornell and Diehl or L.J. Peretti, for sure. So for Old Joe Krantz, this is same as Haunted Bookshop. It is a Burley, Perique, and Virginia blend. However, the proportions of this one are much different than the Haunted Bookshop. There's definitely much more Perique in Old Joe Krantz, as well as I think some more Virginia too, because I find this to be slightly sweeter. The red Virginias had more sweetness, so more of that in this blend as compared to Haunted Bookshop. So let's take a look at this tobacco. This is again coarse cut. There we go, get it in view. So there is dark Burley as well as cube cut Burley in here. You can see the ribbon cut Virginias and quite a bit of Perique. If you see the darkness there, there is quite a bit of Perique in this blend. As for the moisture level, once again, Cornell and Diehl, most of their blends, at least in the bulk, which I prefer to buy, tend to be on the drier side, which I think is quite nice. Makes it burn a little bit better, in my opinion. Smoking in my Amazon.com pipe for the first time. Check out the video I did earlier today if you want to learn more about this. I treated one with olive oil. This one I did not. I'm just going to let it darken naturally. And I've already gone ahead and done a charring light to this. And let's go ahead and light it up now. I'll let you know what I think of it. Oh, I always forget to do the pouch note before I light the pipe. I got to start to remember to do that. So pouch note for this: prune and raisin, and a slight tanginess or vinegariness to this as well, which comes from the Perique. Don't really pick up much in the smell of the Virginia. Very, very light, maybe grassy hay note to it, but mostly what I'm getting is the plum and prune and fig from raisin from the Burley, and the tanginess from the Perique. And there is a lot of Perique in this blend, so if you're not a fan of Perique, you may want to stay away from this one. go ahead and light up here. So the draw on this Amazon.com pipe is spectacular. And I just did a retrohale, and because of the amount of perique in here, it definitely will tickle the heck out of your nose on the retrohale. This tobacco in particular produces large plumes of smoke. And like all the other Cornell and Diehl Burley blends that I've had, does not bite. Burns extremely well. Very few relights down to a fine white ash. And this Burley blend is has more perique in it than any other Burley blend that I've ever tried. Definitely would not consider this to be an all-day smoke where I would consider Haunted Bookshop to be. This one definitely not. Now, I was a former cigarette smoker. Nicotine does not really affect me. It's hard for me to judge high nicotine tobaccos to low nicotine tobaccos. But from all the reading that I've done, this one has a very, very high nicotine content. So, you know, if you're sensitive to nicotine, definitely smoke this blend after a large meal. You know, not so much in the morning. Like I said, not considered in my opinion because of the amount of perique and all-day smoke, but definitely an enjoyable one. So taste-wise, on here the Burley definitely is the star of the show. I get that walnut nuttiness, so you know, a little bit buttery. In this one in particular, I get kind of like a toasty or like a toasted bread note, almost like toasted Wonder Bread, which is a nice touch because most blends aren't like that, at least for me. You know, the Burley definitely the star of the show, but the perique comes in a very, very close second. In this, very, very high content of perique in this blend, and this perique is very fig tasting to me. You also get that mouthfeel of the black pepper. And actually, this one has actually a black pepper taste to it as well. So a very, very spicy blend. And then the Red Virginias are definitely there in the background. They add a subtle sweetness to this that's consistent from the beginning all the way to the end. But if you are a Burley lover and you also enjoy periques, this blend definitely is for you, because like I said, this is the spiciest, black pepper spice pipe tobacco that I have ever smoked in my life. But I do find that to be enjoyable, probably good to smoke like on a hot weather day. That spiciness will help cool you down a little bit. And then this blend also has a subtle earthiness to it, like the earthiness that you would get from like a good quality cigar. And the flavors with this stay consistent, like I said, from the beginning right to the end, which I very much look for in a pipe tobacco. And definitely am enjoying with this one as well. So for my 5-star, so I've smoked this now in a cob and a briar. I prefer, and I forgot to mention this in my last couple of videos, so I'll go and I'll do it now if you're interested. So the Cornell and Diehl Epiphany was about equal to me in taste. Didn't change at all from smoking from a cob to a briar. I'm the corncob piper, so for Epiphany I'll go ahead and choose a cob just because I have to choose one. And then the Shandy Gaff from Cornell and Diehl, that one in my opinion definitely better in a briar, but it was still enjoyable in a cob as well. Old Joe Krantz, I'm going to give a slight nod to a cob, only because I think that it made the Virginias taste a little bit sweeter. But still very, very enjoyable from a briar. And then for my 5-star rating on Old Joe Krantz, I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Definitely a blend that I will be revisiting. We'll get to Haunted Bookshop, which is the companion blend of this in a little bit, and you'll see what the differences in my opinion between that and Haunted Bookshop. But overall, fairly decent smoke. Like I said, not something that I would smoke all day. But definitely a nice change of pace to smoke every once in a while. And like I said, if you're sensitive to nicotine, just make sure on this one that it's something you smoke after a big meal, just so you don't get any of that nicotine sickness. And this pipe, for 25 bucks on Amazon, it's a pretty good smoker. I mean, I don't really have any complaints about it. I like the cool caramel colored acrylic stem. Fairly nice. Smokes pretty good. It's got a fairly large draw hole, which I like, and the draw on this is quite nice as well. So that's my review of Cornell and Diehl's Old Joe Krantz. Once again, 3.5 out of 5 stars. And as always, YouTube, keep on piping.